For more on all of this, we're very pleased to be joined by Congressman Ted Yoho of Florida. Congressman Yoho serves on the House Committee on Foreign Affairs. And Ted, as always, we thank you for your time here on Newsmax Prime. This campaign has really taken on a life of its own. CNN caught up with Donald Trump after his rally in New Hampshire. Mr. Trump doubling down on his comments concerning Hillary Clinton and bigotry. Let's look and listen.
She is a bigot because you look at what's happening to the inner cities. You look at what's happening to African Americans and Hispanics in this country because she's selling them down the tubes, because she's not doing anything for those communities.
Now, there are actually some establishment consultants saying that Mr. Trump has gotten off on the wrong track. He should have stuck with the Clinton Foundation, making her the focus. What is your reaction to this?
Well, I think it's something he had to respond to. And, I think there's two paths to go down. I would stay hammering her on the Clinton Foundation. I mean, you talk about crime and corruption and graft. This goes back to, corrupt politics from 100 years ago that we saw in the Theodore Roosevelt era. This is the same type of stuff going on. But, you got to respond to the bigotry charges. And she throws out there that Donald Trump's the head of the racist white Republican Party or the alt party, and I think it's nonsense. But I think he has to respond to this, and I don't think he's off on it at all.
And maybe the fact that he comes out swinging as a Republican when so often Democrats play the race card and Republicans stay silent. So he's come out swinging, but of course, you're representing a congressional district in a swing state. So how confident are you that Florida will swing into the Republican column this year in the presidential election?
JD, I'm confident that he'll win. You got to look at the sentiment of the American people. The American people have put Donald Trump, or the Republicans have put Donald Trump in the top place out of 16 seasoned veteran politicians. And I think that speaks loud enough of where he stands in this state. And then you look at the failed policies of the Obama administration, and Hillary Clinton can throw the bigotry and racism out there. But what they want to do is take the focus off the Clinton Foundation. They want to take the focus off the failed policies of Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State. You look at what's going on in Iran, and this is Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama's policies that have emboldened Iran, that led to the nuclear arms deal, that now they have this money. When was the last time in your lifetime that you saw any foreign power taunting the American military like we're seeing here this last week? It's unconscionable.
And it certainly is a cause for concern. Now, Hillary Clinton shows up on MSNBC's Morning Joe this morning, and she really put the metal to the metal, doubling down on her rhetoric about white supremacy. Here's what she had to say about Donald Trump.
He has built his campaign on prejudice and paranoia. A man with a long history of racial discrimination who traffics in dark conspiracy theories drawn from the pages of supermarket tabloids and these kind of white supremacist, white nationalist, anti-Semitic groups should never run our government or command our military. If he doesn't respect all Americans, how can he serve all Americans?
And Ted, Donald Trump tweeted a response. Here's what he said. Crooked Hillary will never be able to solve the problems of poverty, education, and safety within the African American and Hispanic communities. On that note, late this afternoon in Las Vegas, Donald Trump had a meeting scheduled with leaders of the Hispanic community. What is your take on where he stands now in terms of border issues and attracting minority voters?
I think you're going to see him gain traction in those communities because, again, if you look at the policies of the Democrats since the Great Society of Lyndon Johnson, since 1965, $20 trillion has been moved into the war on poverty, yet our numbers are going up, especially in the minority communities. This is something that Hillary Clinton will have an extension of, and what we're seeing is the people are waking up in America. The Democrats' mantra over the last 50 years is to give you what you want to keep you where you're at, and that's why we see what we have now. Donald Trump has got a plan with the Republican Party. We've got a better way to bring people out of poverty, empower people. Don't keep them in there. Don't penalize them for trying to get out of that. Let's get people out and let them live the American dream. And Donald Trump has a clear vision on that. Hillary Clinton wants to repeat what's not worked for the last 50 years.
Ted, before we run out of time, we've got a couple of minutes left here, and I want to get to something that's part of your portfolio on the Committee on Foreign Affairs. The White House is really working to try to completely shut down Gitmo. The pledge was to get it done before the end of Mr. Obama's term. And in fact, Vice President Biden has gone on the record saying this is still an important part of Mr. Obama's agenda. Here's the way the Vice President put it.
Do you think that you'll succeed in getting Guantanamo Bay closed?
That is my hope and expectation.
So, this is something that has been around since the 2008 campaign. 15 dangerous detainees transferred out while we were sleeping a couple of weeks ago. Do you believe legally this president can do it without the input of Congress?
Legally, I think he probably can, JD. And I say that because you've got the Guantanamo Bay detention facility. You have the Guantanamo Naval Base facility. My concern is not so much about the detention facility, whether he closes it or not. I know they had, when we left to go on the break in at the end of July, there was approximately 88 combatants still left in there. Over 57 of them have already been vetted and cleared to be left or to sent to another country. There's 5 people that will never be let out of there, nor should they be let out of there. They're bad players. We do know this. We do know that 30% of the people that have been released have either gone back into terrorist activities against the United States or are suspected of doing that. And the latest example is the guy that was down in Uruguay. They picked him up and he had left Uruguay. We need to make sure that the countries we send them to, like the UAE, are strong allies of ours that have enough resources to maintain these people and keep checks and balances on them. My concern is that this president will try to put the Guantanamo naval facility back into the hands of the Castro government. This is something that is not acceptable. We've got language in the NDA that blocks this, and this is a bill that President Obama has to sign. If not, he stops paying our military, and it would be him alone doing this. This is not acceptable. This is a national security risk. This is something that we are fighting strong to protect.
And on that note, Congressman Ted Yoho of Florida, sir, we thank you for your time.
JD, I appreciate it. Keep up doing the good work.